Welcome everybody to WRO TV channel. Today is 2023 July 20. I am presenting part number 229 in English. You will surely like it. Thank you very much. An urgent appeal to the leadership of Arkan Army and United League of Arkan, particularly Bosutamianai, to stop fighting with Arkan Rohingya Salvation Army Arsa immediately. I hope this message will find you in a moment of reflection and consideration for the well-being of the innocent lives caught in the midst of conflict between Arkan Army and Arkan Rohingya Salvation Army. I am conveying this urgent appeal with a heavy heart to implore you to immediately cease hostilities and engage in peaceful dialogues with Arkan Rohingya Salvation Army. The ongoing conflict is causing immeasurable suffering and loss of lives in the region. So it is very important and imperative that all parties involved take immediate steps towards reconciliation and lasting peace in Arakan state. The consequences of the conflict between the Rakhine and Rohingya people, and now between Arkan Rohingya Salvation Army and Arkan Army, have been catastrophic, leading to the displacements of more than 1 million Rohingyas to the neighboring Bangladesh, with countless families, the loss of the innocents' life, and profound humanitarian crisis. The violence and animosity between these two communities have only perpetuated a vicious cycles of retaliations and suffering, leaving ordinary civilians, including women and children, and those vulnerable to the horrors of violence. The world is watching, and the international community has expressed deep concern over the escalating conflict in the region. However, it is your action that will ultimately determine the path towards peace and stability in Arkan state. So, I appeal to you and your sense of humanity and conscience to put an end to the violence and embrace dialogue as a means to resolve the grievances among us. History has shown that peace, negotiations, and dialogue have the potential to bring about lasting solutions to even the most complex conflicts. The suffering of innocent people should not be used as a means to achieve political or ideological objectives. We must remember that it is the innocent civilians who bear the brunt of the hostilities, and they deserve a future free from fear, violence, and oppressions. I understand that resolving long-standing conflict is a daunting task that requires compromise and sacrifices from all parties involved. However, I believe that together, through sincere dialogue and understanding, a path towards reconciliation and lasting peace can be forged. I appeal to the leadership of both Arkan Army and Arkan Rohingya Salvation Army to set aside differences, lay on a formula, and work towards a peaceful resolution. It is in this unity and commitment to peace that we can envision a future where the people of Arkan can live together harmoniously, free from fear and insecurity, with all rights. I implore you to consider the dire humanitarian situation, the future of your communities, our communities, and the profound impact your decisions have on innocent lives. I sincerely urge you to be on the right side of the story and take the courageous step towards peace and stop immediately all kind of hostilities with the Arkan Rohingya Salvation Army. Please also know that the international community, humanitarian organizations, and the concerned individuals stand ready to support and facilitate the peace process. We believe in the power of the dialogue, empathy, and forgiveness as essential ingredients for healing the wounds of the past and building a brighter future. Let us join hands in pursuit of peace and work together to create an environment where dialogues, understanding, and respect for each other's rights and aspiration can flourish. Moreover, the internal fighting between the Arkan Rohingya Salvation Army and Arkan Army, led by Boshoto Mianai, can threaten the lives and well-being of countless innocent civilians, and it is imperative that address these issues with urgency, empathy, and rationality. Arkan State has a rich and diverse history encompassing various ethnic and religious groups that have coexistence for generations in Arkan State. Recognizing and celebrating this shared heritage can be a stepping stone towards understanding the unity and reconciliation. We must break the cycle of violence. You have to understand, it is crucial for both Arkan Army and Arkan Rohingya Salvation Army to recognize that violence begets violence, bloodshed begets bloodshed. By putting down arms and embracing non-violent means of communications, we can break the cycle of retaliation and create a space for meaningful dialogue. Building bridges of empathy and understanding between the Rohingya and Rakhine community is very important, which is a key to reconciliation. Both sides must listen to each other's grievances, fears, and aspirations, paving the way for a more harmonious coexistence in Arakan region. Dear Boshok Tamanai, you have to understand the ongoing conflict has led to a severe humanitarian crisis, particularly the Rohingya people who are languishing in the camps of Bangladesh refugees concentration area, with countless families who were displaced and forcibly dispossessed and pushed out by Burmese military junta forces, and vulnerable they are. By focusing on this shared humanity of those affected, we can mobilize collective efforts to alleviate suffering of these Rohingya people and rebuild their shattered lives. We must have a vision, dear Bosutamanai, creating a shared vision for the future of Arakan state, where all inhabitants and communities can thrive and prosper, is essential. This vision should encompass respect for diversity, equal rights, and the opportunities for all people of Arakan. The civil society organizations and other local leaders from both communities can play a vital role in promoting unity and reconciliation by fostering grassroots initiatives that emphasize intercommunity dialogue. We can build bridges that transcend all kind of hostilities and divisions. We have to acknowledge also the past wrongs. It is crucial for all parties involved to acknowledge past wrongs and human rights abuses committed during the conflict. In this context, I want to explain and reiterate to the Rakhine community and the leadership of Arakan Army and United League of Arakan that for many centuries, thousand years, we the Rakhine, Rohingya, Nuta Kamidana Kama, and all inhabitants, we are living together in peaceful coexistence and harmony in our homeland Arakan, without any kind of obstacle, hardships, and hatred. But the Burmese invaders who occupied Arakan in 1784 and annexed Arakan with Burma without the concern and aspirations of the Arakan people, they sowed the seeds of hatred, animosity, and racism among Rakhine people in the name of religion, Buddhism, and proximity of their language. Since then, the Rakhine and Rohingya becomes arch enemy of each other. So, being disunited and with communal divisions, we were divided still today. Because of our disunity, we are not unable to achieve a united struggle to restore the independence and sovereignty of Arakan. It is very, very disturbing. So, I want to reiterate, without the Rohingyas, Rakhine cannot liberate Arakan, and the Rohingyas cannot own a piece of land without the cooperation of Rakhine people. If we go continuously divided, if we want to live separately, then there will be no alternative, then the situation will be more serious. It is going to lead to the bloodshed and unending cycle of violence in Arkan state. So this is the best time that we understand Arkan army led by Bhushan Tormanai and United League of Arkan should sincerely and honestly consider the fact that Rohingyas, who are a part and parcel of Arkan inhabitants and indigenous race of Arkan, has the same equal rights and justice and power sharing in the land of Arkan state, same as Rakhine people. We are ready to cooperate with Arkan army if you are able to understand the grave situation of the Rohingya people. If you want to make a decision that all people of Arkan should unite and with the Rohingya people, Arkan Rohingya Salvation Army and the Arkan Army, Arkan Liberation Party and all others working for the liberation and creation of a prosperous, peaceful, developed Arakan in the future depends on the unity of all people of Arakan and all resistant forces. So I finally request that this is not only just to make unity, but practically to implement the force of unity so that we can resist our common enemy, the Burmese military forces, and push out them from the border of Arakan and create our own independent, democratic, sovereign Arakan state in the future. Otherwise, when we fight each other, the Rohingya will fight with Rakhine and Rakhine will fight with Rohingya, and there will be internal conflicts and there will be bloodsheds, and who will benefit? The occupiers will benefit. Mere online military forces will benefit, but we will suffer. Both communities will suffer. Taking this conclusion, I want to again request the leadership of Arkan Army and United League of Arkan to cease all hostilities and stop hatred and do not follow racism and xenophobic attitudes toward Rohingyas and become a genuine politicians and revolutionaries to free Arkan, so that we can say we have our own country, we restored independence and sovereignty of Arkan. Finally, I want to say unity and reconciliation in Arkan state are not only necessary for the immediate cessation of the violence and the conflicts between Arkan army and Arsa, but also for creating a prosperous and harmonious future for all of us. By acknowledging shared histories, fostering empathy and understanding, and engaging in meaningful dialogue, we can break the cycle of violence and build a better tomorrow for the people of Arakan. Let us rise. Let us rise above the differences that divide us, that divided us, and let us work to unite as the people of Arakan, respecting the principle of Universal Declaration of Human Rights and international laws, accepting each other on the basis of their ethnic nationality, disregarding race, religion, color, language, belief system, tradition, and all other forms of human society. Together, we can forge a path towards peace where the diversity of Arkan state is celebrated and the well-being of all people of Arkan is protected. Thank you very much, Boshutamyanai and the leadership of Arkan Army, United League of Arkan and Arkan Rohingya Salvation Army. I am Muhyiddin, the President of World Rohingya Organization from America. Thank you.